Kidding? Just one shot?
They're not all zombies, Doug. How do you fight this thing?
Maybe we could drown it in A1 sauce.
Well, sometimes that is better. The person you put up there ain't the person that comes back.
It's a dance song to get down with. About 6 feet under. Get there.
Ooh, I love this song.
And now we come to the thrilling final episode of our radio drama.
Hello and welcome to episode 151 of the Rotten Views podcast. But then again, you probably already knew that because you clicked on the episode. Unless you have the episodes on autoplay, which I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys coming back. So if you guys haven't looked at the title yet, I'm sure you probably already have. You know what movie we're already getting ready to watch. We're going to be watching on Tubi, Highway to Hell from 1991. I've never seen this movie before, so it should be a fun one, hopefully. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But before we get into the movie, as always, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been listening to the podcast, sharing the podcast, leaving comments, sending emails, all that other fun stuff. I appreciate it all. And we had another influx of listeners. I think on Anchor it said we had another 30 plus new listeners over the last 3 days. So that's awesome. I appreciate that a lot. It means a lot to me. And thank you guys for coming back. As always, in case you guys don't listen to the end, I want to get some business out of the way. As always, you can find me on all social medias at Typhonstein. Links will be down below. But the main thing that we're pushing, we have the Instagram page, we have the Facebook page, we have the TikTok page if you really want to count that. But the main thing we're pushing, the main baby that we're trying to build up a little bit higher, is the YouTube channel. We're pushing for that 1,000 sub mark, so that'd be awesome if we can reach there. We are at 560 something along there, around that area as of this recording. And I decided once we hit 1,000 subs, I'm going to do at least one art giveaway. So I'm not sure what the drawing is going to be yet, but it's going to be one full art piece, or maybe I'll pick a random person and then we'll do like an 8.5 by 11 piece. Whatever artwork they want. I'm not sure what the plan is yet, but it's going to be at least one. I'm going to say at least one. I might be generous. Maybe I'll do 2. Maybe I'll do 5. I don't know yet. I'm going to do at least one, though, for a random person. And this doesn't matter when you subbed or how long you've been subbed or how active you are. I'm going to obviously try and pick someone who's active and will reply back to my message. But, it is what it is. But yeah, that's the plan. Once we get 1,000 subs, I'm going to give away at least one free drawing. If not, 2. Maybe if I feel generous, 5. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So if you guys want, keep sharing that YouTube link at Typhonstein. Definitely go share that all over the place. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Threads. We're on Threads now too, in case you guys didn't know that. The competition by Instagram and Facebook to go up against Twitter. So many social media sites, so little time. We're also going to be trying to get back into those shorts. I'm working on setting up a little station on my desk so we can do some like time-lapse drawings and maybe some full-length drawing videos as well if you guys want to see that. But yeah, I'm just trying to get everything set up, get the camera the right way. I got this new webcam, so we're trying it out. Hopefully it will work good. I don't know yet. If I have to, I'll use my phone, but it's kind of pain in the ass to set up, I'm not gonna lie. But then again, that's the life of a content creator and streamer. Nothing's ever simple and straightforward, so it is what it is. And you just go with the punches and take it from there. But if you guys don't know yet, on the YouTube channel we do the weekly gaming video. So every Wednesday I have a new gaming video come out, and I'm also uploading the old episodes of the podcast on there as well. And then we have some other videos coming out, and every now and then I want to do daily stream, like shorts. I don't know if I can or not. Like, I haven't been seeing as much activity on the shorts, so I gotta try and rethink what kind of concepts and drawings I'm gonna do, because what I've been doing hasn't been really striking people's fancy, I guess, if you want to say that. I've only been getting a couple hundred views at a time, where I used to get like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views every now and then. Like every other video was over 1,000 views. So I don't know, maybe our streams just aren't that great for shorts. I know there's only a couple. I've only personally seen a couple artists get over a couple thousands for the the shorts, but then again, I haven't been searching out too much. So maybe this week we'll do some more research, and maybe I gotta do some more anime pieces or some cartoon pieces or whatever's relevant in the art society. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's just all up there in the air like it always is, because that's just how we run this place around here. But enough of that. You're here to listen to me talk about a movie that I've never seen before and that you guys probably haven't seen either. I would be surprised if you guys haven't. Hopefully you guys in the background can't hear my fan running. I hope not. It's a little warm. It's a little toasty. It's only like 9:30 at night and it still feels like 28, but it's fine. It's no big deal. It's fine. But yeah, before we get to talking about this movie and get everything started and run down everything, if you guys don't want to hear spoilers from a movie that came out in 1991, feel free to pause the podcast now, go download Tubi, create an account, or go in as a guest. Watch the movie on Tubi, because I don't want to hear any shit if you guys don't want to be spoiled. That's your own fault if you get spoiled on a movie that came out in 1991. But if you guys do pause it and go watch the movie instead of listening to me talk, please come back because we need you here, and I appreciate you guys being around. So some quick info on this movie. It's got a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, it's 53% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 3.8 out of 5 on Vudu. This movie originally came out on March 13th, it says on Google, but it says it came out in 1992, which doesn't line up to the year on Tubi, but you know, it's fine. The budget was apparently $7.5 million to $9 million. That's a lot of money, it seems. The box office was $26,000, apparently. Ouch. That doesn't sound too good. Quick synopsis on Tubi. A couple's honeymoon comes to an abrupt end when the bride is abducted by a demon cop from hell, and the groom has just 24 hours to rescue her. It's directed by At DeJong. Oh, that sounds like a joke name, but apparently he's done Drop Dead Fred, Fogbound, and Deadly Virtues, Love, Honor, and Obey. I don't know. I think I might have seen Drop Dead Fred, maybe, but I don't remember it. So, yeah, we'll just go off of that. Also, the writer for it was... We'll make sure we get the right name right. Brian Hedgeland, who's also known for working on 42, A Knight's Tale, and Legend, but not the same Legend that you guys probably think of. It's not I Am Legend, it's just Legend from 2005, or 2015, I should say, where he was a director. Other than that, he did one episode of Tales from the Crypt. That's, it's the only other thing. I don't have high hopes going into this movie now, to be honest with you, but it's kind of interesting because the cast, you got Chad Lowe, whatever, Patrick Bergin, Adam Stork. But then if you go a little bit farther down on the cast list, you have Gilbert Gottfried playing a character called Hitler. I don't know if that's supposed to be actual Hitler. I'm assuming maybe, because you also have Amy Stiller playing Cleopatra, Ben Stiller playing Pluto's cook, and Jerry Stiller playing the desk cop. Also, you got Lita Ford as the hitchhiker. Why does the cast that's not the main cast seem so much better than the actual main cast in this movie? You know what? It's fine. It's whatever. We're just going to get right into the movie now. Let's get this thing on with and maybe over with, because maybe it's going to be a write-off and a horrible episode altogether. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Presents Saturday Night at the Movies, the television series which each week brings you the finest in recent motion pictures. Tonight...
Join us on a dazzling cinematic adventure down the highway to hell. A winding route that stretches from here to eternity.
Kansas anymore.
Discover the warm, energetic, inventive, and friendly inhabitants of hell.
Can you tell me the quickest way to hell?
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Share with them their traditional crafts and delicious local cuisine.
Vegetarian bitch!
Paging Saddam Hussein.
Bastard!
Down here, that's a compliment.
You'll marvel at the unusual flora and fauna. Delight in the people's daily pursuits.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. Oh.
And see reenactments of rituals that go back hundreds of thousands of years.
Once you have crossed, there is no way back. I'm gonna school your brain!
Learn how a people steeped in tradition have made their city a thriving modern metropolis.
It's the cop from hell!
meet the individuals who have made hell the international hotspot it is today.
I am the Prince of Princes.
We've heard that story before, haven't we?
Highway to Hell. An unforgettable journey from Sovereign Pictures.
Now we'll have some fun.
So the movie starts off with that MGM line roar, just like the last few movies. That, of course, doesn't mean it's going to be good by any means, so it could just be horrible. And then the music comes in with the intro credits, and it's kind of like this heavy piano style music with this deep voice in the background. And then this little postcard stamp, which I think is really cool, comes up. It says greeting from, and then it says Highway to Hell, and that's the title font coming in and everything. And then the intro for the actors comes in on that little stamp as well. And slowly over time, as the intro credits are going on, the stamp, we see the stamp actually change. It starts getting a lot duller and darker, fading away. And then the house that's actually on the stamp actually starts crumbling apart and decaying. And there's also like a truck there as well that starts decaying and crumbling away. And then this big fucking scorpion comes down the road, which it's not accurate to the size of the road and everything around it, but it's fine. It's a horror comedy movie with Ben Stiller in it, who's apparently not the lead actor anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. And then we cut and see this cop playing this arcade machine that says Highway to Hell, and he gets pissed off at the arcade machine and slaps it because he spins out the car, and he's looking around in the diner. He's like, oh. And then our lead, Charlie, he's like, hey, that cop is watching us. And I think it's his girlfriend, Rachel. She's like, calm down, Charlie. You're just being silly. Nobody knows that we're, going to elope and get married. It's okay. And then she's like, yeah, well, actually, the only person that knows that we're getting married is my mother, because I had to write her a note and just let her know. And Charlie spits his drink out. He's like, okay, time to go. That cop's probably after us because your parents probably hired him to try and get us, to stop us from getting married. So let's go and get out of here. So Charlie and his bride-to-be leave the diner and get in the car to go where they have a puppy waiting, and he feeds the puppy the rest of his burger by the Lady and Tramp style, and they get into this beat up looking Pinto, which has Musani's or something pizzeria sign on the top of it, a big giant pizza slice on the top of it. And then the cop comes out and gets on his police motorcycle and starts following, and then Charlie starts freaking out. He's like, oh no. We also see the close-up of the sign. It's actually like Nunzio's Pizzeria. I don't know why he stole his work car, but whatever. I guess back then it was different too. You probably use your own vehicle instead of actually having a vehicle supplied. Maybe it's the same way. I don't know. I've never been a delivery guy. Maybe it's the same fucking thing. Probably the same thing now with skip the dishes and all the crap. But anyways, Charlie's all freaked out. The cops following, but they go off the off ramp or at least a different road. It's nighttime, so we don't know really where they're going. And the cop motorcycle just keeps going straight and goes on with his way. And then they pull off to the side of the road, and he's like, okay, you're right, the cop's not following us, you're right, we're taking the back roads to Vegas, it's fine, we'll get there eventually. I know it's really dark out, we're kind of lost when we're looking at a road map and I have no idea where I'm going, but we'll eventually get there at some point in time, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, who knows. And while on the side of the road, Charlie tries to get a little action, and the seat that she's sitting in just gives out and folds back, and the dog's like, come on guys, you have to. The dog's just like, come on, can't you guys wait? And then she's like, I don't want to do it in a Ford Pinto. He's like, just think of it being like a Porsche. It's fine. It's our own little Porsche. But the happy little couple decide to wait until they're in a bed and with no clothes on. And then they take off on the road, which it almost sounds like the Pinto doesn't want to start at first. Then they're driving down the road and they pull up to Sam's Last Chance. It's a little gas station which has very unique looking pumps. They're kind of like on the pillars of like the Spartan areas, the Roman area, whatever the proper term is. Just this nice pillar that has the gas, I don't know, container on top of it. Really weird, but whatever. We'll go with it. And Charlie gets out of the car to go look at this little stand that the old guy's got. And it's got a cardboard sign on one table. It's like, free coffee if you want it, I guess. Also, I didn't know this from before when they left the diner or not, but when Charlie gets back in the Pinto, he gets through the window of the driver's door. I'm not sure if the door doesn't open or not, but yeah, he gets through the window every time. Anyways, then they go to start the car and the car won't stop. So then she's like, okay, fine, pop the hood. I took shop in school. I know what I'm doing. I'll fix the car up to get it started. Don't you worry. She gets done looking at the engine, flying around a few things. It closes the hood. The hood doesn't even fucking fully close on this goddamn car. It's seen better days for sure. Then as they're getting ready to drive away, the gas clerk's like, hey, I got a free cabin or tent in the back. If you guys want free of charge, you have your own privacy. Don't worry about it. Just hide in the back. And that's when Rachel's like, you know what? We kind of have our hearts set on going to Vegas. And that's when they're leaving. The guy's like, hey, watch out for the 2 trees. Just don't stop at all. Just keep going, okay? Don't stop. Make sure you don't stop. We see them driving down the road, and Charlie's talking to Rachel, saying how much he loves her and how much he needs her and how better of a person she makes him feel. And then he looks over at her and pulls up the hat, and the whole time she's been asleep. And apparently the dog's asleep too. And he's like, okay, fine. I'm just talking to myself. It's fine. Just driving through the middle of nowhere, talking to myself. It's okay. It's fine. And then as he's driving, he slowly starts falling asleep, and he starts speeding up a bit. And then as he's speeding up a bit, there's a billboard, but there's also a cop car behind the billboard. And once he hits the gravel side, the side of the road, he wakes up out of a dead sleep and kind of spins the car out, and then the cop car pulls up beside him. He's like, where the hell did he come from? Well, you see, he was sitting behind that billboard. You can tell something's up with this cop, because when he gets out and his foot touches the ground, we see some smoke come up. He's putting this like billy stick in his belt and everything, and we can just tell there's something up with this cop. And the cop's walking around the car, not saying anything to them, and Charlie's like, what's up, officer? And we hear the dog growling in the back. He's got the flashlight just pointing in the car the whole time as he's walking around the car. He literally walks over to Rachel's door, rips the door off the car, and pulls Rachel out of the car. And we see this cop has like inscriptions or something on his face. His face is definitely not normal by any means. It looks like it's scarred up or has like writing into it. And then the dog gets out, goes to attack the cop, but the cop just throws the dog off. And then he throws Charlie to the ground, and then he throws Rachel into the back of his cop car and drives off with her. Also, his cop car is some like really fancy muscle car that then starts breathing fire as it's driving away, as we see Charlie unconscious on the road. And then the puppy comes over to start licking his face, being like, hey, wake up, cop's taking our mom. You want to wake up? Take my mom at least. Come on, get up. Charlie finally gets up off the road and is looking around. He's like, what just happened? What happened? And then he notices, I think it's Rachel's necklace is on the ground. He picks it up. He starts calling for her, but there's obviously no answer. And they just looks down the road, and we see tire marks pretty much the whole way down the road as he yells for Rachel. And then Charlie, instead of following after the cop, he heads back to the gas station, and he goes to talk to the old clerk. He's like, what's going on that road? What about the 2 trees? And the old guy's like, I told you. And the old guy's like, what happened to your girlfriend? He's like, he took her. He's like, who took her? And he's like, there's 2 roads down there. You can't see it, but I've been down there. There's 2 roads. And he's like, where? He's like, the highway to hell. And Charlie starts freaking out. He's like, well, I told you about the 2 trees. And then inside the gas station clerk's home, he's showing him all the missing reports from the paper about how the hell cop is taking all these pretty girls. And that's the only person that he goes after is pretty girls. And he's stolen or kidnapped like 5 or 6 of them by the looks of it. And we find out that the clerk's wife, Clara, has actually been kidnapped as well. We find out also the gas station clerk's name is Sam, and that he fell asleep driving down that same road because he's coming out this area looking for work, and that Claire was kidnapped after falling asleep and crashing the car, and she's never been found ever since. That's when Sam also gives him this shotgun. He's like, yeah, it's no ordinary gun. And apparently Claire also made the shotgun look nice by putting pieces of a hubcap on it. Then Charlie's like, well, how do I get to the highway of hell? And that's when they go into the garage and they uncover this nice old school car. And Sam's like, that Pinto might get you to highway of hell, but this will get you to hell and back. That's when they're then loading up this new car with all the supplies that they need, gas and whatnot. And this teddy bear falls out of the Pinto, which has a clock set inside of it. And that's when Sam's like, you have 24 hours to get out of hell. And if you don't get out of hell, you're gonna be stuck there forever. That's when Sam's also like, you just gotta believe when you're driving through those 2 trees that the road's gonna turn into hell. And then as he goes to drive away, and then Sam's like, hey, I forgot to tell you there's something special in the car. And Charlie just keep driving away, not listening to what Sam has to say at all. Then we just see Charlie driving down that same stretch of road back and forth multiple times, just spinning the car out, just trying to get through to hell, just trying to believe to get through hell. And that's when we then see another cop car coming up behind him, and he's getting all excited. He's like, yeah, it's a lieutenant from hell. Sorry, sergeant. Nah, I'm not sure if it makes too big of a difference, but he's a Sergeant Bedlam, aka the hell cop. Anyways, this cop pulls him over and goes up to the driver's door to question him. But there's a little issue. It's not actually the hell cop. So then Charlie pulls a gun out on the real cop. He's like, shit. And then he starts speeding away. That's when he's speeding away and he's yelling that he believes that he can go to hell, and he's believing. And then this portal opens up and he actually goes right through it. And then the cop car stops and he's like, the fuck just happened? Where did he go? Where? He was just here 2 seconds ago. Where'd he go? And then we see Charlie is now in AKA hell, apparently, which just looks like Arizona. Arizona, but it looks of it to me. And it's now daytime, and he stops the car on the other side of this billboard, and he looks out. He's like, I've seen this movie before. Is that Back to the Future? And Charlie gets out of the car, and he's just looking around, and he's just kind of stunned because all he sees is just desert all the way around him and nothing else other than just one random billboard as well. And then he gets back in the car and he talks to his dad. He's like, well, not in Kansas anymore. It's like, oh, you and your funny one-liners. You're clever writing. Then we cut to Rachel, who's in the back seat still of that other cop car, and she's like, who are you? Where are you taking to me? And he kind of just looks in the back seat and kind of just smirks at her. And then we show up at a place called Pluto's. We stop at Pluto's and he pulls her out of the back seat, and I didn't realize that his handcuffs are actually a pair of hands, like zombie hands, stuck onto her wrist. And then as the helicopter is dragging Rachel into Pluto's donut diner, whatever fucking place it is, he kicks over the water that's on the sidewalk, and it kind of just starts to steam as it hits the sidewalk. And that's when we see Ben Stiller's character, the cook, come out. He's like, hey, what the hell? What's going on there? And apparently he's cooking the food on the sidewalk because it's so goddamn hot in hell, which makes sense. Arizona, whatever it might be, I don't know. But yeah, he's cracking eggs on his forehead and cooking them on the sidewalk. It's just weird, unique, I guess. Then we look inside this diner, and the waitress is like, it's so hot in here, huh? Just, is it hot enough for you? And this whole diner's full of these weird alien, monster, demon cops. They're all covered in spider webs or like scars all over the face, missing eyes. And that's when we also see Ben Stiller sitting at the desk, just like, I just want another piece of coffee, please. Shut up, Maud, and give me some more coffee, please. As he just points at his cup. He's like, fill up to the rim, please. Stop talking. Just give me coffee, please. And then he starts crying. He's like, I just want coffee. Please give me some coffee. She's like, why didn't you just say you want coffee? We got this kind of coffee. We got that kind of coffee. We got this kind of coffee. They got that kind of coffee over there. You want to go down that section of the bar? They got coffee. Then Ben Stiller's dad wants to be all funny and stuff, and he goes to steal Hellcop's plate that has some coffee spilled on it. And then the Hellcop gets all pissed off, pulls up his gun, and shoots it at Ben Stiller's dad's feet. And he just gets sucked into a portal somewhere else. Anyways, then Rachel pours some coffee on the handcuffs, and the handcuffs let go, and she runs out, and she's asking Ben Stiller, how do I get there? He's like, I don't really know how to help you. And then Hellcop leads to the diner. He's like, she went that way, don't hurt me, she went that way, definitely went that way. Then we see Rachel running through this desert area as she's running up to these like biker guys that all surround her as the Hellcop's trying to chase after her. And like the lead biker guy gets off, he's like, hey, where are you going? She's like, can you just keep him away from me? He's like, don't worry, whatever he's gonna do, we'll do it twice as bad. Don't worry about it. Where are you running to anyways? You're in hell. And then we just see a shot of the Hellcop walking down the road towards them as they're all surrounding Rachel. Then the biker pulls out a samurai sword or some kind of sword, some weird looking sword, and puts it to the throat of Hellcop, and Hellcop's got a gun pointing at his face. And then the biker guy's like, you're an embarrassment. You can let this little lady get her away from you? You're a piece of shit. And the biker guy's like, I won't tell anyone on the police force that you're stupid because you let this little blonde lady get away from you if you just let us go and not cause us any trouble. Do you understand? So then they make the trade-off because apparently Hellcop can understand a deal when he sees a deal. And then we see Charlie driving around in hell, and then he meets his hitchhiker, Lita Ford, and he's like, can you tell me the fastest way to hell? He's like, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, as she, pretty much goes through the passenger window, being like, hey, look at my boobs. That's when she's like, so just one thing, I'll show you how to get it, but do you have room for two? And then she moves out of the window, and then this crazy ice cream guy jumps through the window, and the dog starts biting him, and then he goes to drive away, and then the ice cream guy gets on top of the car, and then, they stop the car, they spin out a little bit, and the ice cream guy has his ice cream scoop out, and he's like, I'm gonna scoop your brains. And that's when Charlie shoots him in the face with his new shotgun that he's got. We see a giant hole in the ice cream man's head, and it looks like he was just full of ice cream the whole time. And we see Charlie pulling up to Pluto's, and then the biker gang actually pulls out in front of him and stops him, and then they start pulling him out of the car. And then the biker guy's like, hey, this guy's alive. He's like, yeah, so am I. He's like, yeah, but this guy's different. He's actually after the Hellcop, so he's dead anyways. And that's when the biker guy's like, you're crazy, you know that? Why are you chasing him though? He's like, well, he's got my girlfriend. He's like, alright, well, I'll let you go, but I like you, Charlie, because you're crazy. You owe me one way or another. And the biker gang makes a deal with Charlie to let him go so he can go try and get the Hellcop. And then we find out, the biker gang is really nice. They just want to keep making deals with people. And then a bike pulls up in front of the car, and Charlie thinks it's Clara, Sam's, missing wife, I think it was. Then we find out Charlie's car is really fast because it catches up to the cop car with no goddamn issue at all. And then we have this like racing down this desert road as Charlie's just ramming that nice car into the cop car over and over again to try and run him off the road. But it's not working out so good for him. Charlie goes to shoot the helicopter, but he's like, no, I can't shoot the helicopter because if I shoot him, then the car's going to crash with you inside of it. And then we see Rachel in the backseat trying to like scratch at the helicopter's face and whatnot to try and kind of help run him off the road. And the helicopter just grabs Rachel's wrist and pulls her right into the cage and knocks her out. And then the helicopter's got no problem shooting at Charlie's car because he's an asshole. Then there's this tractor trailer across the road and it says Red Waste on it, and the helicopter shoots the trailer and the whole trailer blows up red, and then the helicopter drives right through the trailer explosion, but Charlie goes off into the grass desert area, and then the car slowly just comes to a stop as we just see it leaking fluids. And we see Charlie walking through the desert because the car's not running anymore, but we don't see Doug anywhere. He walks up to this telephone motorist aid contraption, so he opens up, he's like, oh, it's just a telephone. So he picks it up and he's like, hey, so I need some help out here by chance. My car's all out of oil and it won't start. The guy on the other end's like, so your car won't start until oil, huh? He's like, yeah, so can I get some help? He's like, looks like you gotta start walking there, buddy. And then Charlie pulls his shotgun out on the little telephone booth thing. Then we see this red tow truck pulling Charlie's car a bit. He starts screaming. He's like, hey, that's my car. And he runs down to it. And then the tow truck actually stops. And then the tow truck driver gets out. He's like, hey, no harm. I just have a little salvage company. Just have a little salvage company up the road. And whatever I find, I usually just take it home. And then the guy's like, do you want me to take it home and like fix it for you? Like, do you want that? Because, you said it's your car. So then the tow truck driver offers to take Charlie back to his place to fix the car and whatnot. But the dog doesn't really like him too much. And then we see the sign on the side of the truck. It's AAA, but it doesn't stand for AAA like it would. It stands for Anarchy, Armageddon, and Annihilation. Actually, that's kind of AAA, right? That's fine. It's all the same thing. And it's kind of funny as they're towing the car back to the shop to get fixed. Instead of road crews like cleaning up the garbage, they actually have waste bags that they're throwing down on the road as the tow truck drives through the garbage. Like, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. And next thing you know, we're in Beasel's garage, the tow truck driver's garage, and the car is fixed. And Charlie's like, hey, so what? He's like, nothing. Just give me a few beers if you want. It's fine. Go down to the bar and sink a few beers if you want. Right? And then Beasel's like, so why are you going to Hell City? He's like, well, Hellcop took my girlfriend, my soon-to-be wife. And Beasel's like, so have you guys, done the deed, done the dirty, done the thing? He's like, I'm just, asking because usually Hellcop only goes after beautiful young virgin. So if she's not virgin, she'll be fine. She won't die. It'll be okay. Then we see Charlie driving down the road as we see Beasel's son attached on the passenger side of the car. And we're coming up to this really weird, like, factory good intentions paving company is what it's actually called, and it's where people are going through the lineup, and it's just various people who have screwed over other things. Like, I just thought he want me to pull the plug, and like I was only sleeping with my husband's best friend. And then one guy comes up, he's like, sure, I let little Frances drink the bleach, but she had to learn the lesson herself. And we just see all these body parts getting put all over the place, and like these people are getting used as supplies for the paving equipment, I guess. And then there's like, please keep your bad intentions to a minimum and your complaints to a minimum. You guys are paving the way for a new society. And a little kid pops through the passenger window. He's like, hi, Charlie, I'm your new driving partner. I can show you where your girlfriend is. He's like, okay, fine. Just stay there. Don't get hurt, please. I don't want your dad, being angry at me. Then as they're getting ready to drive, a random severed leg just falls on the hood of the car. He's like, oh, that's bad. And then we see they're driving, and it's like late at night, or it's just really heavy rain, and it looks like it rains tar by the looks of it. And that's when Charlie's like, so Adam, how did you get in hell? And that's when we find out that the family was driving through, and that Hellcop apparently killed the whole family, even the family dog, and then took Adam and gave him to Beazle. That's when then Charlie shows Adam a picture of his girlfriend. He's like, she's beautiful. We gotta go find her soon. And Charlie's like, so when we find her, we're getting the hell out of here. Do you want to come with us? We'll adopt you, I guess. I guess that's what we're gonna have to do. And we see them driving, and they pull up to Hoffa's, which is like this mafia casino. And we see Hellcop's cop car sitting outside. And then Charlie heads into Hoffa's. I thought maybe it was a casino, but now it's like a bar strip club. We have a bunch of cage dancers in the strip club as well. Some random guy goes to touch one of the girls in the cage. And as soon as he puts his hand through the cage, it just sets on fire. That's when then Charlie finds Rachel, and she's in a cage that says a sign on it, touch your own risk. And he goes to shoot the handcuffs off, but then Rachel's like, hey, it's right there, Charlie. So Charlie goes to shoot Hellcop, and he pretty much just dusts the shot off like it's no big deal at all and just keeps walking on him. And then Hellcop shoots Charlie in the chest with Charlie's own gun. And Hellcop drags Rachel out of the cage and pulls her back into the cop car. And then we see Adam going to check on Charlie. And Beazle shows up. He's like, hello, Adam. Where have you been? He's like, I took a ride with Charlie, and, I was just trying to help Charlie. And Beazle helps Charlie up and pretty much carries Charlie out of the establishment. Then we have Beazle carrying Charlie. He's like, don't worry, I can fix cars, horse races, people. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about it, Charlie. I got you. Then as Charlie's like recovering on the bar while the bartender's cleaning some dishes, we have this little waiter guy looking around for Idi Amin, and he goes over to a table where we see Hitler, played by Gilbert Gottfried. It's actually fucking Hitler. And Ben Stiller playing another character where he's playing like Genghis Khan by the looks of it. I could be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's Genghis Khan. Or Attila the Hun. I don't know. One, two. Needless to say, it's been a little bit since I've done anything history-wise, so that's not fresh in my memory by any means. See, I graduated high school in 2007. That's just to set the period of how old I am, or young, depending on who's listening to this. I know some of you guys don't think I'm young, so that's fine. Just because I'm stupid. That's fine, though. It's fine. Then Charlie finally wakes up, and all we hear is Hitler Gilbert Gottfried yelling in the background as Charlie's waking up. And it's so freaking weird. And then we hear Gilbert yelling how he's not Hitler, his name is actually Bob. And when the devil actually looks at him, he's going to be like, hey, see you later, Bob. Have a good day, Bob. That's when then Beazle's like, where are you going, Charlie? He's like, well, I gotta go. I gotta try and catch up to them. Maybe they stopped. Maybe the car broke down. And Beazle's like, you know what? I know a shortcut to Hell City. It's close by. It's the road to nowhere. Then as Charlie's getting ready to leave, he's like, come on, Adam. Let's go get Rachel. And then Beazle's like, hey, sorry, man. Adam's going to stay with me. He's my apprentice. It's at this point in time the biker gang showing up as well at the same time. And then Charlie's like, are you sure you're staying here, Adam? Yeah, you're sure? And I was like, yeah, I have to stay. I'm staying with Beazle. Then we have this little conversation between Royce, the biker gang leader, and Beazle. And Royce is like, you know what? I was never scared. You're taking him as an apprentice? Guess what, Beazle? I'm going up. I'm going back. And Beazle's like, don't be so stupid. It's at this point Royce kind of looks a little bit sad and depressed, like, oh, why you gotta be so mean to me? And as Charlie's driving down the road, the biker gang from hell, he calls it, just shows up and starts spraying his car down. And then there's like this dentist guy who tries to use a dentist drill on him, and they're chasing him, and then he goes through this gated area, and then the bikers actually stop at the gate. They're like, oh, nope, not going that way. And then in this area we actually see the Hellcop parked, and Charlie parks beside him, and then they're just staring at a mountain cliff side and a sign that points up saying nowhere. Then we see Charlie going through this cave system, and he hides because he hears a bike coming, and he jumps in front of the bike with the gun pointing out, and he's like, Clara, it's you. Clara, right? Sam's been missing you? And then Clara's just like, she doesn't have much time. And she's like, don't take the road. Don't take the shortcut. If you choose the wrong way, you're going to be lost. And you both are going to be lost. That's when then Claire's like, I was a stupid kid, and he tempted me, and I took the wrong way, and now I got lost. Charlie pretty much just leaves her. He's like, Rachel needs me. I don't care what you think. Rachel needs me. And he walks down through this pathway and comes to this random doorway inside the stone, which then leads him to a staircase which goes all the way straight up with a bunch of clothes just on each and every step on the way up. And it leads him down to another hallway which has doors all on either side. And the first door opens up, and we actually find Rachel tied in a bed. And then Rachel's like, make love with me, Charlie. If you make love with me, the devil won't want me anymore. And then next thing you know, we hear Hellcop coming up the stairs. Charlie hears the Hellcop coming up the stairs, so he gets ready with the gun facing at the door. But then Hellcop literally just breaks through the wall beside him. And then we have a fight where Charlie's using like a wicker chair to try and smack the Hellcop. But then Hellcop just literally throws him down on the floor and then grabs him by his feet and starts pulling him up like he's a little kid almost. And then out of nowhere, Hellcop goes for the Cesaro swing. If you're not a wrestling fan, you don't know what it is. But anyways, he's just grabbing him by the ankles and swinging him around the room until he lets go of him, and Charlie smashes into a wall. Charlie grabs the Hellcop's gun and shoots him once, and then next thing you know, we just see it's the Hellcop's clothes, and that's it. And he disappears. But then we see the Hellcop's handcuffs slowly crawling away through the floor and trying to get to a different spot. And then Rachel gets free from the bed, and she just starts kissing Charlie. He's like, like, just make love to me now. Come on, just make love to me now. Just let's get it over with. Charlie goes to pick up Rachel's bracelet that she dropped and the handcuffs grabbed. And he's looking in the mirror and he sees this demon lady. And then he looks back at Rachel and he sees Rachel. And then he looks back in the mirror and he's like, oh, that's not my fiance. And then Rachel's like, it's only just skin deep. Don't worry about it. And then she turns into the demon version and starts like rushing after Charlie. It's like, come on, Charlie, just let me love you. This devil's tail breaks the mirror and the glass is all on the floor. And then she uses her tail to try and choke Charlie. But then Charlie grabs a piece of the broken glass and literally chops her tail off. Then the demon's like, come on, Charlie, let's make the sheets sing. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Charlie pulls up a shotgun and just shoots it in the stomach. And it falls through the bed and the bed turns into a ring of fire. This movie's so fucking weird. Then as Charlie's leaving that room, we see a flash and the Hellcop's shoes and handcuffs and everything else just disappears. And Charlie gets out of the cave system, gets back in his car, and when he's getting back into his car, he actually notices Hellcop's car slowly starts to disappear beside him. He's like, oh, that's probably not good. Then we see this road that has a bunch of punch buggy cars all souped up and looking various as they're driving down with the Hellcop, and Rachel's in the back seat watching some TV because I forgot to mention that the Hellcop car has like a built-in TV system in it that plays commercials the whole time because you're in hell, I guess. Next thing you know, we see Charlie's on the same highway that's like 16 lanes wide, and all these punch buggy cars are trying to ram into him and beat up his car. And then this highway leads into a tunnel system, and then Charlie sees an exit sign. So he goes to take the exit, but then the exit takes him to a freaking cliff of all things. And he stops just in time. We see the Hell City off in the distance, but he's like, yeah, that's a straight drop down. That wouldn't be good. Then we see Charlie running through this bridgeway where a bunch of people all have white sheets on top of their head, and he's trying to, get his way through this area. Let's just see a 3-headed CGI looking dog, which doesn't look too happy with him at all. Actually, it's not CGI. It's definitely claymation. Now that I'm seeing it coming at him, it's definitely claymation. And apparently this like 3-headed dog doesn't really like Charlie, probably because he doesn't have a white sheet on his head. I don't know. But anyways, then Ben runs off on the side where the hell dogs can't get him, and he pees on their territory. So then that distracts the hell dogs, and the hell dogs aren't happy. He's like, oh no, another dog peeing on their area. Then we see Charlie getting on a boat with a bunch of other people going down this tunnel area that has a sign above it saying, abandon all ye hope who enter, or something along those lines. It's a neon sign that was going by pretty fast, or LED sign. Then Charlie sneaks into this building. I don't know what the building is, to be honest with you, but then there's a bunch of old soldiers from various wars trying to chase after him. So then he barricades one door with a mop handle, and then he's looking at like the janitor's closet and the housekeeping door, and he sneaks into the janitor's closet, which looks nothing like a janitor closet because there's like statues of naked people all over the place. It's hell. Let's go with it. And then inside this room down the hallway, we see Rachel playing a violin, and she turns around and is like, Charlie, I thought you were dead. And he pointing the shotgun at her. He's like, don't move. And he looks in the mirror. He's like, okay, you're real. Let's hug. I'm sorry I held the gun at your face. I'm sorry. And then as Charlie and Rachel are, getting close again and happy to see each other, I'm assuming it's Satan who walks through the door. And this, the devil comes over. He's like, haha, Charlie Sykes, and start laughing about it. He's like, your name is not in my book. Is there an issue here? Why are you here if your name's not in my book? And he's like, well, I'm going to take Rachel back. He's like, you'll never keep Rachel away from him. She's my little virgin. And you hear her play? She can do anything that she wants to with a little bit of help from me. So it's up to Rachel if she wants to go back to the other side or stay here in hell with me. Then the devil puts Charlie in a single-handed chokehold, and then he finally lets him go. And he's like, you know what? You stink. I could probably let you go. And then Charlie's like, you know what? You can take me. Just let Rachel go. And then Rachel speaks up. She's like, haven't you ever been in love? Don't you know how we feel? And he's like, I know how everyone feels. And then out of nowhere, Satan's like, fine, just go on one condition: never look back. And he starts laughing at this little mirror that spins around, and he spins the mirror, and then next thing you know, when the mirror stops, it's actually Beazle and not Satan. And then he's like, now it's time to have some fun. Then they're running to get in the Hellcop's car, and then a bunch of people start running after them, and there's some of the statue people, and then Rachel's playing around with the Hellcop's door because apparently there's a certain way to get the handle open, and then Rachel knows how to do it. And then Rachel, out of nowhere, just starts to hotwire the car. And then they finally get the car started when it has a bunch of people over it, and we see Hellcop actually walking down the stairs towards the car, but they finally got the car started, and now they just got to figure how to get the hell out where they are. And then Rachel just tells Charlie to floor up because it looks like there's no way out, but there actually is. And they go through this random portal, and end up back into the tunnel system. And for a reason, Charlie decides to shoot the helicopter car instead of using it. But anyways, they make it back to his white car, where we see Ben is now waiting there, just, being a nice happy puppy waiting. And the next thing you know, we see them in the white car just speeding through the desert. Then we see a helicopter showing up in that tunnel system where his car was left. And it looks like the Oompa Loompas are trying to pretty much rip the car apart and take it. And he's not too happy about it. He just starts grabbing them, throwing them around, and literally closes the hood on one guy. And we just see the legs shooting out of the hood. And we see Charlie driving to where Adam is, and he's all confused because there's a new building there. And the servant opens up the door, and Beazle comes out all dressed in red, and Charlie's in a matching little attire as well. Charlie's just like, I'm taking Adam, and Beazle's like, Adam doesn't want to go. And then Adam's like, I promised I was gonna stay, Charlie. And that's when Charlie's like, well, I promised I was going to take you, Adam. He's like, you're serious? Okay, I'll go. Took a lot to convince you, kid? That's when Beazle's like, there's many forms of me, and there's many stages of hell, and you've barely seen anything. You've only been on the kindergarten level of hell. Then Beazle's like, I like you, Charlie. You got a lot of spunk. You got a lot of will and determine. And Adam's not a game, though, so you can't take Adam. And then Charlie's like, well, I want him. And Beazle's like, well, what's your terms then? He's like, well, we'll race the helicopter. We'll do a race. And then that's when Beazle's like, I'm not really up to that. And then Rachel's like, well, if the helicopter wins, you can have me too. And Beazle's like, all right, deal. That's when we then see Beazle in his limo with Charlie following behind, and then Royce and his little gang of bikers following behind as well. I also just noticed that one of the guys on Royce's biker gang is riding a moped. So I'm not sure how he keeps up with everyone else, but good on him. Good on him for that. And as they're getting ready for the race, Claire comes over to the passenger side. It's like, hey, just say hi to Sam for me, will you? And then Beazle's like, hey, if I made you the quarterback of the Rams, would you give me Rachel and Sam? Or Rachel and Adam? I don't know why he said Sam. And he's like, if you would have said the 49ers, it would have been a deal, but you didn't say the 49ers, so no deal. And then Royce starts talking to Beazle, being like, why you give him a chance and you haven't given me a chance at all? Like, you deserve to give me a chance. That's when then Beazle's like, you're a great disappointment to me. And then Royce kicks the front of the limo, and he's like, you guys kill him! And they're like, no way! I say, drive away, being like, I am not getting involved in this shit. I'm already dead in hell. Then we see Royce on his bike with Clara, and he's like, if that boy's going back up, I'm going back up as well. And he starts racing off like he's going to be able to catch up to Helicop and the other white car, which I doubt it, but never mind, I'm a liar. He catches up to Helicop like nothing. Then Royce catches up to Charlie's car, like no problem, pulls out his sword, and later starts putting the sword through the car. And then Claire on the back of it takes her scarf and literally covers up Royce's face. And next thing you know, they crash their car, or their bike, I should say. And I think Royce might fall off the cliff. I saw somebody fall off the cliff. But yeah, Royce falls off the cliff. Actually, they both fall off the cliff, and Royce gets impaled by his own sword. Karma, I guess. Would he actually die, though? He's already in hell, so can he die again? I guess he can, because Charlie died, but Charlie's human, so I don't know this whole plot line in this. Then the helicopter pulls up beside them and starts ramming the side of their car, and then Charlie pulls out the gun and he actually takes a shot and shoots helicopter in the side of the head, and it looks like he's dead, but then next thing you know, he looks at Charlie like he's fine and shoots back at him. And then Adam's like, hey Charlie, if you shoot helicopter's glasses, it destroys him. He's like, why did you tell me sooner? Adam's like, well, now I'm on your side, so that's why I'm telling you now. They drop the last bullet, and then Rachel's looking for the bullet. And then next thing you know, she sees a switch underneath the car, like the seat, and she pulls the switch. And next thing you know, the white car has NOS, and Helicopter just looks over like, wait, what happened? And at this point, they're like going Mach 10 by the looks of it, because their face is just shaking, and Helicopter's just like, wait, I lost? And they reach the billboard and they go through the portal, and that's it. They escaped hell. And the white car pulls out right in front of that cop car that tried to arrest Charlie early on. And he's still in the same time period. And the cop just looks on like, huh, yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. And then the cop pulls him out of the car and arrests him. He's like, you want to tell me what's so freaking funny? And then the timer on the bear goes off, and they made it just in time. But then out of nowhere, we see the billboard just explode as Helicop drives right through it, leaving tire marks of flames. Helicop's getting out of his car while it's on flames. And then the cop's like, stop or I'm going to shoot you. And the cop shoots him twice in the chest, but it doesn't do anything. And we see Charlie just trying to break the handcuffs off because he's now handcuffed to his own car. and Charlie has a piece of metal in his hand. He hits Hellcop on the side of the glasses once, and the glass starts breaking a bit and starts, glowing. But Charlie's getting choked out at this point in time, and then Hellcop goes to put his pistol into Charlie's mouth, and that's when Rachel pops up out of nowhere with a shotgun, shoots him directly in the face, and we see his eyes just glowing blue as he starts to, electricity starts moving through him, and then he explodes. And then we just cut back to Hell, where Beasel's sitting on this little hilltop cliff, is sitting in his chair, smoking a cigar, and then it's the end as the music starts playing, and the outro credits start to hit. I mean, it's a weird movie, but it's a fun movie. It's one of those cheesy, fun-looking movies, and I definitely enjoyed it. On the Rotten scale out of 10, I would give it a solid 7. Definitely something you should definitely go check out. So if you guys aren't tired of listening to me talk about it, definitely, go find it on Tubi, because it's still on there. It's not, I don't think it's in the Leaving Soon section. As this recording, it doesn't say Leaving Soon, but it could be in the Leaving Soon section now, whenever you guys go listen to this episode. So that's assuming you're listening to it once it comes out and not like months down the road or whatever. So yeah, definitely go check that out. Which brings us to our movie we have to pick next. Alright guys, we're going to watch another one on Tubi, because, I'm just on a Tubi kick again, like always. We're going to watch one from 1976. It's a horror sci-fi movie, and it's called The Food of the Gods. I've watched it once. I've already watched it once on Tubi. It's silly. It's definitely a silly movie, but it's also based on a Canadian island, and, being from Canada, guys support those Canadian-style movies, because why not? It's just, no, it's a stupid movie. It's fine, though. I'm going to, pay more attention this watch, because the last time I watched it, I was actually working on some artwork, so it's kind of was just background noise, but I did pay attention to it every now and then, and there's some really cheesy looking shots, but I think it's going to be fun to talk about nonetheless. So yeah, hopefully check that one out. It'll be fun, and as always, thank you guys for listening to this episode of the podcast. Make sure to check out the outro band, The Blood Opera. I don't know why I would say The Blood Opera. Check out Blood Opera, Toronto-based horror band. Their links will be down below, but you can find them all on social medias, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, maybe TikTok, I don't know. You can definitely find them on SoundCloud though, and Spotify being the main things, probably iTunes as well. And yeah, go give them a follow, tell them I sent you, and just
spread the word and help support other horror content creators like myself. And as always, you can find me on all social medias at Typhonson. Links will be down below, but we are on TikTok, we are on Twitter, we are on Threads, we are on Instagram, Facebook, and that main thing that we are pushing the most is YouTube. I don't know if I forgot anything else between there, but YouTube being the main thing. Like I said, we got the weekly gaming video coming out every Wednesday. We have old episodes of the podcast going up, and we have various other videos in between, and we have, I'd like to say, like 4 shorts a week. I hopefully will find a routine where the content is actually really good and people actually enjoy it and do daily shorts. That is my goal, but like I said, the algorithm right now is not a friend of mine, because my videos aren't hitting off by any means. So we're going to try and get back on that good tread on the YouTube shorts and go from there. But until next time, I'll talk to you guys all later. And if you want, make sure to leave a review on the podcast on iTunes, or leave a star rating on Spotify. I forget to say that kind of stuff sometimes, because it's not on the top of my head. But if you guys do like it, the main thing you guys can do is leave a review, leave a star rating, and most likely share it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, share for friends, your coworkers, your pets. Maybe your pets would like to listen to the catalog while you're at work. I don't know, anything works, right? So yeah, just hit that share button and spread the love, and I appreciate it all. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys all
later. Peace.